Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Abhineet Shukla with the evening news. The headlines. President Srimati Draupadi Murmu inaugurates Param Kamrup Supercomputer Facility at IIT Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Himachal Pradesh today realizes strength of double-engine government, which has doubled the pace of development in the state. PM Gati Shakti digital platform to save about 10 lakh crore rupees annually in logistics sector, says Union Minister Piyush Goyal. Minister of State for External Affairs Meenakshi Lekhi criticizes Pakistan for raising Kashmir issue at CICA platform, asks Islamabad to cease border terrorism. Union Home and Corporation Minister Amit Shah flags off 4th and 5th segments of Gujarat Gaurav Yatra from Unai in Navsari district. International Monetary Fund terms India's direct benefit transfer scheme as a logistical marvel. And in Asia Cup Women's Cricket, India to take on Sri Lanka in the finals at Sylhet, Bangladesh on the 15th of this month. In Assam, the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, inaugurated Param Kamrup Supercomputer Facility and the High-Power Active and Passive Component Laboratory of Samir at the Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, on the first day of a visit to the state. The Param Kamrup, one of its kind supercomputer in the northeast region, is installed under the National Supercomputing Mission. In the same function, the President virtually inaugurated Dhubri Medical College and Hospital and laid the foundation stone for the zonal institutes of the National Institute of Virology at Dibrugarh in Assam and Jabalpur of Madhya Pradesh.
The medical college and hospital in Dhubri will provide affordable and high-quality healthcare services and medical education in the region. I am happy that the National Institute of Virology is setting up its zonal institutes in Dibrugarh, Assam and Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh for dealing more effectively with any medical emergency or pandemic situation and provide rapid solutions.
Addressing the gathering at IIT Guwahati, President Srimati Murmu said that northeastern states are making big strides towards development and making extraordinary efforts to provide high-quality education and healthcare system to the people of the region. This region should be the torchbearer of the country. The President said that the supercomputer Param Kamrup will provide advanced computing and healthcare techniques along with solutions for many issues to this region. She also informed that many components of this supercomputer were developed indigenously. Srimati Murmu said that such type of technological development will make India one of the world leaders in supercomputing and enhance our country's capacity in solving challenges of the nation as well as for the world. She also urged the Science and Technology Institutes to provide emphasis on research and technology. The President said that the Union government is providing support to the state government in healthcare sectors and enhancing the quality of education and training. The President appreciated the Assam government for its efforts to provide affordable healthcare facilities for the people.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that Himachal Pradesh today realizes the strength of the double-engine government which has doubled the pace of development in the state. After laying the foundation stone of 2 hydropower projects and launching Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana PMGSY 3rd in Chamba, the Prime Minister remarked that the previous governments would provide services to only those areas where the burden of work and stress remained low and political benefits were high. As a result, the development rate of remote and tribal areas remained fairly low. Shri Modi said, the working style of a double-engine government is different from the rest. He underlined, we are giving maximum emphasis on ease of living in tribal and hilly areas. He listed measures like providing gas connections, piped water, health services, Ayushman Bharat and road connectivity that are changing lives in these areas. The Prime Minister mentioned that the projects for which the foundation stone has been laid today will increase the share of Chamba and Himachal in the field of power generation. Talking about the construction of rural roads, the Prime Minister said that till 2014, rural roads of 7,000 km in length were constructed since independence with an expenditure of 1,800 crores. But in the last 8 years, 12,000 km of roads with a financial outlay of just 5,000 crores have been constructed. Schemes started today will create 3,000 km of rural roads. The Prime Minister remarked that the next 25 years are very crucial for 130 crore Indians as we have to accomplish the goal of making India a developed country. The Prime Minister elaborated in the coming few months, 75 years of the establishment of Himachal Pradesh is also going to be completed.
भारत की आजादी का अमृतकाल शुरू हो चुका है, जिसमें हमें विकसित भारत का संकल्प पूरा करना है। एक एक हिंदुस्तानी का संकल्प अब पूरा करके रहना है। आने वाले कुछ महीनों में हिमाचल की स्थापना के भी 75 वर्ष पूरे होने वाले हैं। यानी जब देश की आजादी के 100 साल होंगे तो हिमाचल भी अपनी स्थापना के 100 वर्ष पूरे कर रहा होगा। इसलिए आने वाले 25 वर्षों का एक एक दिन, एक एक पल हम सबके लिए, सभी देशवासियों के लिए और हिमाचल के लोगों के लिए विशेष रूप से बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
He also expressed happiness about children from Kerala coming to Himachal in the spirit of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. Citing the example of Vocal for Local, the Prime Minister appreciated the women associated with self-help groups due to their impetus to efforts of the government to promote local products. The Prime Minister informed that these products are also being promoted under the One District, One Product scheme.
यहाँ की एक और ताकत कला है, शिल्प है। चंबा के फूल, चंबा का चूक, राजमहल का मदार, चंबा चप्पल, चंबा थाल और पांगी की ठांगी, ऐसे अनेक उत्पाद ये हमारी धरोहर है। मैं स्वयं सहायता समूह की महिलाओं को भी, उनकी भी सराहना करूं, क्योंकि वे वोकल फॉर लोकल यानी उत्पादों को बढ़ावा देने के सरकार के प्रयासों को बल दे रही है। वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट योजना के तहत भी ऐसे उत्पादों को बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है। मेरा खुद भी प्रयास रहता है कि विदेशी मेहमानों को ये चीजें भेंट करूं ताकि पूरी दुनिया में हिमाचल का नाम बढ़े।
Earlier, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi also laid the foundation stone of Bulk Drug Park and dedicated the Indian Institute of Information Technology, IIIT, Una, to the nation. He also flagged off the inaugural run of the new Vande Bharat Express from Amb Andora, Una to New Delhi. He pointed out that today Himachal has one of the most advanced trains running from Una.
मुझे अम्ब अंदौरा से लेकर दिल्ली तक की भारत की चौथी वंदे भारत ट्रेन को हरी झंडी दिखाने का सौभाग्य मिला है। ये भी सोचिए, देश में चौथी वंदे भारत ट्रेन, इतना बड़ा हिंदुस्तान, इतने बड़े बड़े शहर, लेकिन चौथी ट्रेन अगर मिली तो मेरे हिमाचल को मिल गई।
The Prime Minister also informed that Himachal Pradesh has played a crucial role in making India the #1 medicine manufacturer in the world and its possibilities are only going to increase. He said the entire world has witnessed the strength of the medicines manufactured in Himachal Pradesh.
Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has said that India's defence products are not only world-class and reliable in quality, but also relatively economical. He said India is manufacturing world-class and cost-effective weapons and equipment which are internationally recognized. Mr. Singh was delivering the inaugural address at the two-day 4th Defence Attaches Conference being held in New Delhi today. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said PM Gati Shakti digital platform has the potential to save about 10 lakh crore rupees annually in the logistics sector. The minister said this today in New Delhi while talking to the media on the sidelines of the National Workshop on PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan for Multi-Modal Connectivity. Mr. Goyal said with the help of PM Gati Shakti platform, the government is trying to reduce the expenditure cost in logistics sector from 13 to 14% of the GDP to a single digit.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said growth will be among the top priorities of the Union Budget for 2023-24. She said the forthcoming Union Budget will be carefully structured where the focus will be on maintaining growth momentum. Ms. Sitharaman was speaking at an event organized by a think tank in Washington. She said the forthcoming budget will also focus on addressing concerns arising out of inflation. The Finance Minister has held meetings with her counterparts from different countries and heads of top international organizations in Washington, D.C. The International Monetary Fund IMF has termed India's direct benefit transfer scheme as a logistic marvel considering the sheer size of the country. IMF Deputy Director of the Fiscal Affairs Department, Paolo Mauro, said there is a lot to learn from countries across the globe and described India's DBT scheme as impressive. The IMF Deputy Director said, there are programs that specifically target women or the elderly and farmers and praise the technological innovation involved in these programs.
Minister of State for External Affairs Meenakshi Lekhi today slammed Pakistan for raising the Kashmir issue at an international forum while turning a blind eye towards the persecution of minorities within its own territories. In a statement at the 6th Summit of Conference on Interaction and Confidence-Building Measures in Asia, CICA at Astana in Kazakhstan, Ms. Lekhi said it is unfortunate that Pakistan has once again chosen to misuse the CICA platform to propagate false and malicious propaganda against India and distract from the theme and focus of today's discussions and cooperation among the member states. In a statement, Ms. Lekhi said the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh have been and will remain an integral part of India. She said Pakistan is no locus standi to comment on India's internal affairs. The minister said Pakistan's remarks today constitute gross interference in India's internal affairs, sovereignty and territorial integrity, which is inconsistent with the CICA declaration on the principles guiding relations between the CICA member states of September 1999. Ms. Lekhi said Pakistan is the global epicenter of terrorism and continues to be the source of terrorist activities, including in India. She said Pakistan continues to make no investment in human development but provides its resources for creating and sustaining the infrastructure of terrorism. The Minister of State for External Affairs said Pakistan must immediately cease anti-India cross-border terrorism and shut down its infrastructure of terrorism. Ms. Lekhi said with its own record of the dismal treatment of minority communities, Pakistan would be well advised to set its house in order instead of lecturing the world community. Ms. Lekhi said India desires normal relations with all its neighbors, including Pakistan. She said Pakistan is thereby advised to walk the talk by creating a conducive atmosphere so that the two countries engage and address issues bilaterally rather than distract this important international forum from its agenda of cooperation. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav has said the centre and states will work together to tackle air pollution in the National Capital Region. He said the government has taken various steps to tackle the issue of stubble burning. Mr. Yadav today released Central Pollution Control Board guidelines for grant of one-time financial support for promoting establishment of paddy straw-based pelletization and torrefaction plants in New Delhi today. The objective of this financial support is to enable reduced burning of paddy straw in NCT of Delhi, Punjab, Haryana and NCR district of Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Yadav said paddy straw burning in northern regions of the country has emerged as one of the major causes of air pollution during winters, especially in Delhi NCR. The minister urged the farmers to avoid stubble burning and promote its utilization being a valuable resource. He said the government will fulfill the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi of Clean India by making Delhi and NCR pollution-free.
Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah today flagged off the 4th and 5th segments of the Gujarat Gaurav Yatra from Unnai in Navsari district today. The 4th segment of the Yatra is the Birsa Munda Tribal Yatra, which will pass through 14 tribal districts of the state covering 31 assembly constituencies. The Yatra will conclude at the temple town Ambaji, North Gujarat. Another Yatra, which also began from Unnai, will conclude at Phagwil in the Khera district covering 35 assembly constituencies. Addressing the people, Mr. Shah reaffirmed the BJP government's commitment towards the welfare of the tribal people. Mr. Shah said it was the BJP government that started a separate tribal ministry in the centre. He added that Narendra Modi had come up with the Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana, which is largely benefiting the tribal families in the state. Mr. Shah said the BJP government has provided irrigation facilities to 11 lakh hectares of tribal land in the state. During COVID-19 epidemic, Prime Minister Modi ensured free rations to the poor, especially the tribal families of the country. He said it was the BJP government in the state which has provided connectivity to 98% of the tribal region. Union Minister Arjun Singh Munda and Darshanaben Jagardosh were present on the occasion. The Supreme Court has delivered a split verdict in the Karnataka hijab ban case. In view of this, the order of the Karnataka High Court allowing the ban on wearing a headscarf in educational institutions in the state will prevail in the interim. A bench comprising Justices Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia pronounced the verdict on a batch of appeals filed against the judgment of the Karnataka High Court, which held that hijab was not an essential practice of Islam. Delivering the verdict today, Justice Hemant Gupta dismissed the petitions and upheld the hijab ban verdict of the Karnataka High Court. On the other hand, Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia allowed the appeals and set aside the Karnataka High Court order. Justice Dhulia termed wearing a hijab a matter of choice. The two-judge bench said that in light of the divergence of opinion, the matter has to be placed before the Chief Justice of India for directions. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. President Srimati Draupadi Murmu inaugurates Param Kamrup supercomputer facility at IIT Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Himachal Pradesh today realizes strength of double-engine government which has doubled the pace of development in the state. PM Gati Shakti digital platform to save about 10 lakh crore rupees annually in logistics sector, says Union Minister Piyush Goyal. Minister of State for External Affairs Meenakshi Lekhi criticizes Pakistan for raising Kashmir issue at CICA platform, asks Islamabad to cease border terrorism. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah flags off 4th and 5th segments of Gujarat Gaurav Yatra from Unai in Navsari district. International Monetary Fund terms India's direct benefit transfer scheme as a logistic marvel. And in Asia Cup Women's Cricket, India to take on Sri Lanka in finals at Sylhet, Bangladesh on 15th of this month. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
I am India. Look at me. Know my name.
We're one of the most mega diverse countries on this planet.
Our weddings, our fashion statements, they're all inspired by our silver screen heroes and heroines.
A 75 years young India.
What we are really going to see India become is a powerhouse.
India 2.0.
The Journey of India from 14th October every Friday at 7 p.m. in Hindi and 10 p.m. in English on DD National.
जब जुड़े लोग से लोग वोट से वोट बने तब लोकतंत्र का सिस्टम जब जुड़े लोग से लोग वोट से वोट बने तब लोकतंत्र का सिस्टम मतदाता जुड़ते जाए बने तब ऐसा नया कनेक्शन मतदाता जुड़ते जाए बने तब ऐसा नया कनेक्शन मतदाता जंक्शन हैशटैग मतदाता जंक्शन मतदाता जंक्शन हैशटैग मतदाता जंक्शन।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर
8700014242।
Welcome back to the evening news. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will commence a 2-day visit to Egypt on Saturday. This will be his first visit to the country. During the visit, Dr. Jaishankar will discuss a range of bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest with his Egyptian counterpart, Mr. Sameh Shokri. He will also interact with the Indian community based in Egypt. The 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas convention will be held in Indore, Madhya Pradesh in January next year. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today launched the website of the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas convention with Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan through video conferencing. Dr. Jaishankar said the Narendra Modi government has always accorded the highest priority to the Indian diaspora, which is more than 32 million.
The Defence Ministry is organizing DEF Expo 2022 at Gandhinagar in Gujarat from the 18th to the 22nd of October. The 12th edition of the prestigious biennial defence exhibition will focus on land, air, naval and homeland security systems. Ministry of Law and Justice is organizing an All India Conference of Law Ministers and Law Secretaries from tomorrow at Ekta Nagar, Gujarat. Law ministers and law secretaries from states and union territories will participate in the 3-day-long conference. The keynote address will be delivered on Saturday by Union Minister of Law and Justice Kiren Rijiju. Ministry of Law and Justice said this initiative will provide a forum for discussion on a variety of topics relating to India's legal system so that policymakers may develop a roadmap for the country's future.
The Union Power Ministry will hold a 2-day conference of Ministers of Power and New and Renewable Energy of States and Union Territories in Udaipur, Rajasthan tomorrow. The 2-day conference will discuss emerging issues in the power sector. The conference will be inaugurated by the Union Power Minister R.K. Singh. Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for crores of people across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani Ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. In today's episode, we bring you the story of India's achievements in space programs.
India's space programs have grown and evolved significantly in the last decades. Some of the key turning points in the country's space journey include the launch of Aryabhat satellite, PSLV, GSLV, Mission Shakti and Mars Orbiter mission. Overall, India has been fairly successful in these efforts. The space research activities were initiated in India during the early 1960s, when applications using satellites were in experimental stages, even in the United States. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the founding father of Indian space program, formed the Indian National Committee for Space Research, INCOSPAR, in 1962, with Dr. Sarabhai leading the charge. INCOSPAR set up the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station in Thiruvananthapuram for upper atmospheric research.
It is not accidental that on the soil of India, the great space powers, the United States, the USSR and France, are collaborating with us at the equatorial range near Thumba. And even the United Nations sponsorship of this range is not merely a matter of form, but constitutes an umbrella under which, regardless of political differences, nations can collaborate in the peaceful uses of outer space.
INCOSPAR then grew and became the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, on August the 15th, 1969. The prime objective of ISRO is to develop space technology and its application to various national needs. ISRO is one of the 6 largest space agencies in the world. Named after the noted Indian astronomer, Aryabhat was India's first satellite, which was launched on April the 19th, 1975 from Kapustin Yar, a Soviet rocket launch and development site in Astrakhan Oblast, using a Cosmos 3M launch vehicle. Aryabhat was built by ISRO. Bhaskar C-1, India's second satellite, was also launched with Soviet assistance. Rohini was launched in 1980, becoming the first Indian satellite to be successfully placed in orbit by Satellite Launch Vehicle SLV-3, a country-made launch vehicle. In 1984, Air Force pilot Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to go into space, riding in a Soviet spacecraft. He spoke to then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi from space during a joint television news conference.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको? मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा.
Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV has successfully launched 2 spacecraft, Chandrayaan-1 in 2008 and Mars Orbiter spacecraft in 2013. Chandrayaan-1 was India's first moon mission. It was the first unmanned lunar probe under the Chandrayaan program and was launched in October 2008 by ISRO. Mars Orbiter mission was the country's first interplanetary mission. India became the 4th space agency in the world to reach Mars orbit after Roscosmos, NASA and the European Space Agency. It also made India the first nation in the world to reach the Martian orbit in its maiden attempt. The spacecraft Mangalyaan was launched on November the 5th, 2013 and reached Mars orbit on the 24th of September 2014. At just $74 million, the mission cost less than the estimated $100 million budget of the science fiction blockbuster Hollywood movie Gravity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said everything about Mangalyaan is indigenous and we reached Mars at a smaller budget than a Hollywood movie.
कि अमेरिका की हॉलीवुड जो फिल्म बनती है मूवी उससे भी कम खर्चे में हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने काम किया है यानी इससे ज्यादा खर्चा तो हॉलीवुड की मूवी बनाने में होता है
India is striving towards self-reliant space applications and ISRO has developed a cost-effective and reliable satellite launch system. Another brilliant innovation by ISRO is the GSLV, which has the capability to put a heavier payload in orbit than the PSLV. In a first-of-its-kind attempt, the Defence Research and Development Organization managed to successfully neutralize a satellite in space with its anti-satellite ASAT missile on March the 27th, 2019. This was one of the most important and complex missions that was undertaken by the DRDO, and it was named Mission Shakti. It demonstrated the organization's ability to defend India's assets even in space.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke saath can be accessed on @AIR News Alerts on Twitter, News on AIR official YouTube channel, News on AIR app, Facebook and Instagram handles. So tune into All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke saath. Today is the 93rd death anniversary of Kishore Kumar. He still is regarded as one of the most talented and versatile singers in the Indian film industry. On the 13th of October 1987, Kishore Kumar died of a heart attack in Mumbai. His body was taken to Khandwa, his native place, for cremation. Kishore Kumar was born on the 4th of August 1929 in Khandwa, Madhya Pradesh. He was born and brought up in a wealthy family. His father, Kunjalal Ganguly, was a lawyer by profession, and his mother, Gauri Devi, was a homemaker who hailed from a very rich family. Kumar was the youngest of 4 siblings. A desk report.
जीवन से भरी तेरी आँखें.
Once Mahatma Gandhi said, "Great men never die." This quote fits aptly for legendary singer Kishore Kumar, who is still alive in our memories. His contribution to the Indian music industry is immeasurable, and we cannot deny this fact.
जीवन से भरी तेरी आँखें.
In his early days, he could not develop a style of his own, but nevertheless, he perfectly imitated K.L. Sehgal. Once, the great S.D. Burman had come to Ashok Kumar's house to meet up when he heard Kishore Kumar singing. He actually thought it was K.L. Sehgal. When he came to know that it was Kishore singing, he truly appreciated and encouraged the young lad to continue refining his voice, but at the same time develop a style of his own. Kishore obeyed his advice and emerged as the live wire of Indian cinema. He was the one who introduced yodeling in the music industry, which was widely loved and enjoyed by the Indian audience.
Cricket, India will take on Sri Lanka in the final at Sylhet International Cricket Stadium in Bangladesh. India reached the final with a comfortable win over Thailand in the first semi-final match. In the second semi-final of the tournament at the same venue, Sri Lanka defeated Pakistan by 1 run. The final will be played on the 15th of this month at 1 p.m. IST. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Srimati Draupadi Murmu inaugurates Param Kamrup Supercomputer Facility at IIT Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Himachal Pradesh today realizes strength of double-engine government, which has doubled the pace of development in the state. PM Gati Shakti digital platform to save about 10 lakh crore rupees annually in logistics sector, says Union Minister Piyush Goyal. Minister of State for External Affairs Meenakshi Lekhi criticizes Pakistan for raising Kashmir issue at CICA platform, asks Islamabad to cease border terrorism. Union Home and Corporation Minister Amit Shah flags off 4th and 5th segments of Gujarat Gaurav Yatra from Unai in Navsari district. International Monetary Fund terms India's direct benefit transfer scheme as logistical marvel. And in Asia Cup Women's Cricket, India to take on Sri Lanka in the finals at Sylhet, Bangladesh on the 15th of this month. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.